This is CBN News. The Kremlin says Ukraine has launched a drone attack on one of President Vladimir Putin's residences, an accusation Kyiv strongly denies. Russian officials say several drones targeted a residence linked to President Putin in the Novgorod region northwest of Moscow. According to the Russian Defense Ministry, the drones were detected by air defense systems and destroyed before reaching their target. No casualties have been reported, and officials say there was no structural damage. The Kremlin has described the incident as a serious security threat and says it will now review its position in ongoing peace negotiations related to the war in Ukraine. That statement alone has raised alarm across diplomatic circles. The accusation comes at a critical moment, just one day after U.S. President Donald Trump held talks with Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky and separately spoke by phone with President Vladimir Putin. Those contacts had sparked renewed speculation about possible diplomatic movement. Now, Russia's claim threatens to derail any momentum toward dialogue. Ukraine has categorically rejected the accusation. President Volodymyr Zelensky says Ukraine did not target any residents associated with the Russian president. He describes the claim as a fabrication, designed, he says, to undermine peace efforts and manipulate international opinion. Ukrainian officials insist Kyiv does not carry out attacks of this nature and accuse Moscow of using the allegation as a political tool. So far, Russia has not released independently verifiable evidence to support its claim. But Russian state media is portraying the incident as proof that Ukraine is escalating the conflict beyond the battlefield, suggesting that even Russia's leadership is now being targeted. The symbolism is powerful, the timing is sensitive, and the consequences could be far-reaching. As the war approaches another uncertain phase, this accusation adds a new layer of tension to an already volatile conflict. CBN News Report. This alleged drone incident is not just about security. It is about narrative, leverage, and power. In conflicts like this, accusations often matter as much as verified facts. By claiming an attempted attack near a presidential residence, the Kremlin elevates the conflict to a symbolic level, framing the war as a direct threat to Russian state authority. That framing has consequences. It strengthens Moscow's justification for hardening its military and diplomatic positions. It complicates any ongoing or future peace discussions, and it places additional pressure on Ukraine's allies. Russia's statement that it will review its stance on peace talks does not necessarily mean diplomacy is over, but it does signal danger. Such language often precedes tougher demands, slower negotiations, or a pause in dialogue altogether. For Ukraine, the denial is equally strategic. Kyiv is seeking to maintain international support and avoid being seen as the side escalating the conflict, particularly at a moment when diplomatic channels appear to be cautiously reopening. The international community is watching closely. Many governments are urging restraint and calling for verifiable evidence. There is growing global fatigue over unconfirmed claims, but also deep concern that incidents like this, whether real or alleged, can rapidly spiral into wider escalation. The risk is not only military. Diplomatic trust, already extremely low, is further eroded with every accusation and denial, and when trust collapses, the space for compromise disappears. This latest development also raises questions about the future role of external mediators. Recent political signals from the United States had hinted at renewed engagement, but incidents like this make mediation far more difficult, as each side accuses the other of acting in bad faith. For now, what remains clear is this: the war in Ukraine is not only being fought on the battlefield, but also through statements, symbols, and strategic messaging. And each new claim, each denial, pushes the prospect of peace further into uncertainty. As Russia and Ukraine continue to trade accusations, the stakes grow higher, not just for the region, but for global security. We will continue to monitor developments and bring you the latest updates as they unfold. CBN News Report, bringing you the world news update. Thank you for watching.